Whenever this channel goes dormant, it's usually because instead of being in front of the camera, I'm behind it, creating and collabing with others. So yeah, I'm never gone. I'm just telling other stories. Hey everyone, it's me, Hallease, endeavoring to persevere. As always, if you're new here, I make videos about my chaotic good life. Subscribe, follow social media, all of the things. So when I'm not over here on this channel documenting my own life and telling my own stories, I run a production company called StumbleWell, where I help others tell whatever story they want to tell. That's right, this is another flex video. Get with it. So StumbleWell, my production company, recently did a collab with Glen and Yvette Henry. Y'all probably know them from the Belief in Fatherhood channel, where they equip fathers, bring hope to mothers, and document their familial life. You might not know though that they have a second channel called How Married Are You? It's a video podcast where Glen and Yvette take time away from the chocolate babies to talk all about their life as a married couple, focusing specifically on their relationship together. And I first off, go watch / listen to the podcast. It's available more or less wherever you get your podcast, and it also has a video podcast equivalent here on YouTube. Love it. Mr. Hallease loves listening to it. It's like one of his favorite podcasts to listen to. I will link to it in the Eye of Sauron and also down below in the description box. It's a really awesome channel. So if you don't know already, we actually also helped to do the Belief in Fatherhood video rebrand. So that opener you see anytime you're watching a video on that channel, the different backgrounds you see, the end screens, all of that kind of stuff. My production company, StumbleWell, created all of that work. And if you want to check out that video, I also did a video explaining the process of how we came up with it. Check it out if the spirit moves you. So they recently commissioned us to take the How Married Are You collateral and brand identity that they had just recommissioned and worked on to turn it into video assets.
We loved what you did with Belief in Fatherhood the first time. What you executed, you perfectly executed the brand book and you made it feel alive. And all the little things that we got with Belief in Fatherhood, I think it's time that we brought that over to How Married Are You? And since we're done this rebrand now with Red and Point, we decided to hit you up to see if you could help us out with some of those visual assets.
And this is something that we at StumbleWell love to do. We love to help brands who have figured out what their look and feel is, color palette is, all that kind of stuff. A very static thing, usually, you know, a brand book is a very static thing, no movement. And then give them the tools to show them how to turn that static brand book into video assets and what that looks like to now add movement to a new brand idea. So the first thing we did was we put together different budget options for them based on what we figured the type of assets they would need. And we ended up landing with a few different things. First thing, of course, a new opener for the How Married Are You podcast. One that incorporates updated photos of the chocolate babies and updated photos of them. I came in kind of really wanting to do something fun with the new logo. So my original idea was to actually have the logo unravel and then create a timeline. But then once we got into the animation process, it felt a little clunky. And we also realized that because of the jingle, we didn't actually have a lot of time to show a lot. So what we ended up settling on was using all the different types of photos and media that Belief in Fatherhood and Yvette have to bring forth this idea of like what a new updated timeline would be. And then using keywords that they had built into their brand to reinforce that messaging.
When you do a rebrand, right, and you're basically giving your brand rules to follow, how we look on each platform is how we dress. It's like our attire. A lot of times you see people, our content creators, they have an audience and influence, but they don't have a mission or why, you know what I'm saying? And that's not what we're dealing with here. We have a focused reason why we're doing everything we're doing. And so when you come here, it looks a certain way for a certain reason. Mm-hmm. And so we just wanted a little bit more focus. And also we do want to push out products and do events. And so those things don't, like those assets don't just come out of nowhere. Oh, we're having a conference, let's get a background. Nah, we need that stuff way beforehand. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we're thinking about the long-term goal.
So after all of that, here is where we landed. The next thing we did was we put together a backgrounds package. So if you watch the Belief in Fatherhood channel, you know that Glen does anything to get the shot. Whether it's filming on his phone, filming on his actual camera, crew member doing something, he gets the shot. And the How Married Are You podcast is no different. They utilize all of the content that they pull, whether it be on their phones, somewhere else. And so, of course, we wanted to put together a backgrounds package so that way, regardless of what kind of footage it is, they can have it standardized across the viewing platforms that they distribute the podcast to. So we did this sort of a Supreme style, which I actually really like, and we did varying sizes of it and movements. We did one with sort of the enlarged logo off to the side, giving it just a little bit of loopable movement. And something that we incorporated this time that we didn't do last time with the Belief in Fatherhood rebrand was that we made sure that all of them were mogrt files. For those of you who don't know, we're a completely Adobe shop, so we built these backgrounds into templates so that way they could easily change out the colors if they want to, invert the colors. They can also mess with how transparent or non-transparent they are. Really easy, usable stuff. Literally just with a little click in Premiere Pro, they can easily just adjust it themselves. So I'm really excited that we've now incorporated more moggrts into just our overall branding kit, because the point of this when you work with us is that you don't have to come back to us, hopefully, too soon. We want to try to future-proof you for at least the next 3 to 5 years in the content that you're making. One thing I love about Yvette's content strategy is she is really great at engagement with her core audience. And so we really realized the importance of incorporating more vertical template files for them to work with. And we wanted to make sure we could have it to where, again, it was very easy to use, easy to build. So we ended up going with 2 types of templates. One where it's text that pops up and asks simple questions, this or that sort of thing. You know, you kind of see those vibes with other brands, the this or that or yes or no kind of stuff. And then also a more basic template to just add any sort of questioning text and adding images as well. Again, these are templates, so completely customizable in regard to color scheme, the text you put on screen, all within Premiere Pro very easily. With all of that combined, we put together this video brand packet for the How Married Are You team, taking their stagnant still brand and adding motion to it. I think brands, when they're figuring out their color scheme, palette, and text and font and, the sort of idealism of what is the brand, how is the brand separate and all that kind of stuff, they tend to really only focus on it from the stagnant print point of view. And as a video producer, production company owner, I get excited when brands start to really think critically about, okay, how do I now take this stagnant brand and have it move? What does movement look like when we're talking about brand identity? I love being the person that can come in and kind of like work through that with a brand.
You'll get people in the comment section that say, I was listening to this, but I had to stop to come watch it because I think sometimes they want to see body language and facial reactions, or sometimes we're just super descriptive. I don't know what it is, but
yes.
Some people are both, because I've asked that question too. Do you listen or do you watch?
Yes.
And some people are like, I listen and then I watch with my spouse.
Yeah.
Or,
And so, as always, thank you so much to Glen and Yvette for entrusting us with your brand and letting us build these assets for y'all. Again, if you don't know about the How Married Are You podcast, check it out. I will link to it down below in the description box and also in the Eye of Sauron. That's in either corner here. They are more or less wherever you get your podcasts, and they also have a video version of the podcast here on YouTube. A big shout out to my Patreon producers, patreon.com/Hallease. There you get early access to my videos, exclusive content, and merch. It's a good time. Again, I'm Hallease, endeavoring to persevere as always, and on this channel, I document my chaotic good life. Subscribe, follow social media, all of the things, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.